Would you like some shitty players to podcast about a game they're not good at?
What's up, DigiDestin? Thank you for listening to the Security Check Digimon TCG podcast. Make sure to join the Cataclysmic Cardboard Discord server via the link in the description. And now, let's jump into the digital world.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
This is Cardboard Mimic, also known as Andrew, also known as Midas Touch against Maki.
No, that would be good, wouldn't it? That would be... I would like to be turned to gold against you. 9 times out of 10, I'm
no,
shit.
every deck I touch turns to gold when I play against you.
Yes, exactly. It's like, look how it works.
Yeah, and tonight I'm joined with Maki, Nightmares,
What's up?
and He Who Stands Alone, Tiny.
Visually, but here vocally.
He's here.
Hey, could we add a picture of him? Like, just...
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know if we can. We need to look at that. Because remember, I found the soundboard last time.
Yeah. So, how's it going in the digital world? There's been a lot of new reveals going on for BT-18. They announced the stores that got store championships or store regionals.
Did they? Did we see those?
I sent it to you on Facebook.
Oh.
So they got a list of the store regionals in North America, got a whopping 8.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good. There's a lot of stores that do Digimon. I don't know. But we've got
Facebook Messenger?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
We've got Magic Stronghold Games in Canada. 401 Games downtown in Canada. Power 9 Games in Las Vegas, Nevada. Zulu's Board Game Cafe in Washington.
Well, that's cool.
Gaming Giant in Virginia. Illustrious Cards and Games LLC in New Jersey. So the DGU boys are going to be hot for that.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that on their pod, maybe.
Final Cut TCG in California and the Geekery LLC in Kansas. And Virginia, that one is about 8 hours from us, so I doubt that's going to ever happen.
But I do think this is cool that, a lot of people got kind of hurt at the North Carolina announcement. This is pretty good. They've got some stuff like Washington.
It's spread out pretty good, I think.
Yeah.
I'd have to put a pin in a map to really look at it.
Shout outs to that regional that's taking place in Kansas now. I'm sure they're hyped to have something that they don't have to drive 10 hours to get to.
Either way.
Yeah, either direction.
That's pretty cool. Oh, man. It's capped at 64, though, right?
I think so. And I think I saw somebody say something about a lottery to get in.
I don't know how that'll work.
It's Bandai doing sketchy Bandai stuff. Just, I get the store championship thing was a little too far, but you need to reel it back at least a little bit. Like, Gold Star stores, we get it. There's a lot of people that play Digimon there, but there are stores like ours that don't get enough people every single week to really fire off consistently. But there are plenty of players that can make it to that area.
Well, if we even wanted to look at it like this, which they may have not applied, there's larger hub areas, such as Atlanta. Just in our area, I'm just speaking for our area, guys. Lexington, Nashville, there's some big cities that I know have tons of card shops. So I don't know. I was even wondering that when we went to regionals, when we signed up for every side event, we used PPG. So PPG got the player base for that. So,
right? Can we? I wonder if Bandai would let us start a store.
You can. You just have to. It's the same rigorous thing that they all do. Pokemon does it. MTG does it. I've looked at it. Storefront pictures, It's just the same way as trying to get a Pokestop to be a.
Oh yeah.
it's
pretty
hardcore.
Let us run some online tournaments. Like, who wouldn't love some support for that?
Hear me out. We'll just do it anyway.
That's true.
If we band together and we do it enough, there's two things that's going to happen. They'll either get pissed and shut us down, or they'll be like, hey, maybe we should just let these guys roll with it.
So we call that first option the Nintendo protocol.
I mean, between all the online creators, I think we could pull enough weight and resources. Like, not saying we could offer crazy prizes, but I mean, case tournaments and stuff wouldn't be out of the question if we pulled our resources.
We could pull the GFG route and get this really cool guy we know named Wholehearted to.
Oh yeah.
That would actually that tournament idea we were talking about. That would be a good first place prize too.
Yeah, that'd be sick. I'm pretty sure Usagi would get back in on it.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Once we get more details figured out on that, we'll announce it.
Ooh, now we got y'all on pins and needles.
Yo.
If you're in the Discord, you know. But if you're not in the Discord, you don't know.
But you know what? I bet if they went and signed up for the Cataclysmic Gamers newsletter, they would find out as soon as we announced it.
Hey.
And they might also win a box of BT-9. So head over to cataclysmicgamers.com and sign up for the newsletter.
I gotta say, I really love how easily you guys make these transitions.
Listen, I listen to a lot of podcasts all day at work, so we're working on that seamless transition.
It's a seamless flow. I think everyone just has ADD, and your brain's just like, oh, wait a minute. We can go into this right now. We don't plan this. We don't write these out, guys. We just go with it. Well, I think now would be a good time to speak of locals. Since none of us... Did you go, Tiny?
This one?
Yeah.
Last weekend, you guys went to the Evo Cup in the winner case.
Oh yeah,
we did the winner case. Not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before. This past Sunday, as far as I know, there wasn't a locals. It's like nobody was going to be able to make it, so we
daggum work.
Didn't do a thing.
Listen, I had my interview today. I get this position. I'm going to be off on Sundays. I ain't going to make it to every locals, but at least every other week.
It'll still be rough for me. I'll try. But yeah, we did. We did the winner case. Tons of people showed up. Team Demon Lords came out in massive force. Wholehearted, Kyle, RT, all of them came out, which was cool. And Team Demon Lords brought a couple guys from in their area that I guess is opening another starting Digimon at their store. So they came. That was cool. So
yeah, we had two of our usual crews that come visit for our big events, and then we had a totally new crew that we haven't seen before that were brought up thanks to Team Demon Lords.
I actually have let me pull this up here.
You have the deck list of her tournament?
No, but I've got
oh yeah. Pictures. Look, guys.
There's everybody playing some Digimon at locals. There's all Wholehearted and Leafy Boy.
Meowth. KO.
I see a Stray Tiny back here with RT. Were you smacking him around at that point, Tiny, or was he smacking you?
RT?
I don't know who you were playing against.
Me. We drew.
Oh.
We actually drew. Yeah, if you go back to the other... Yeah, they're...
Oh, yeah, there it is.
We all were huddled. All Cataclysmic gamers.
I had so many draws that day.
Oh, look, Jordan's wearing the bleach tee I made him.
Hey.
And there's our boys.
Speak of the devil.
Speak of the devil.
Jordan.
Hey, he made it.
Jordan has joined. Good old Haggy has joined us, ladies and gentlemen. I love it.
Sorry on everybody really fast.
There's old Mega Sweaty and RT Splitting the win.
We got to get up there, guys. We did good. The local boys tried this time. The local boys. We did all right.
I can't fault you. The winning case before this one, was it Animal Coliseum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I scrubbed out in top 8 too.
I felt
both times I
this
made
one.
top 8, and then go against Mega Sweaty, and of course he wins. So
He sweats all over you.
It's funny because he's literally one of the. I haven't met many hateful Digimon players in person, but can't really think of any actually that are hateful. But Mega's just so slightly intimidating to play against.
He is, because he knows exactly what you're gonna
Yes.
do before you do it.
mm-hmm.
That's
Get
it.
out of my head, bro.
Super fun to play against. But it's like, you're sitting there and you're like, oh, you're doing all your triggers, and then he'll be like, no, he does this. And you're
Yep.
like, oh,
yeah,
man.
you know when you did the wrong play.
Yeah.
He gives you them eyes.
He'll just look at it and be like, he's just that look on his face for like, I wouldn't have done that.
Okay.
Because I did that against him. I went Tyrant, dropped Grand Kawaga Ace, and deleted the wrong TK. And when I chose my TK target, he just kind of looked at me and goes, okay.
Yep. It's always the okay.
And the minute he did that, I was like, damn, I chose the wrong TK.
But now you know. Because I
Now I
play
know.
that deck too, and you know.
Dude, that is all I match up against on DCGO is yellow vaccine, and I hate it.
But it's also, even if you don't buy the Rapid Mons, you just build an Angel, go into Seraphi and everything, and Magnadramon. It's one of the cheapest decks you can build right now that's competitive. You can build that whole deck, and if you don't play Godamon, you either buy the expensive Patamon promo or you play Godamon. And so you can go make people hate you at locals for like $100, $85 if you don't get anything blinged out.
All you need is like 4 emissary, right? That's all it takes.
3 to 4. 3, I'm telling you, man, that I think people, once they realize what emissary does, they're like, oh my god, that card needs banned. And you're like,
It does. It is an issue.
In combination with everything. When you have Patamon, TK, and a Rapidmon are level 4 in your trash, yes, it is disgusting. But I have had many games where I'm like, emissary does nothing.
Well, that's why you got to make sure you got to make sure that you put it in your security stack first, and then you take it out.
Well, that's the funny thing. We haven't got that far. Now, if we ever start being able to literally put cards from our hand, which we do have
I think
one.
Cardboard's confusing Emissary with the Angelwoman option. Emissary is the one that lets you digi from security.
Digi from security. Okay. So you got to get your card into the security because you can TK.
The way you said that, I thought you meant get the option card, and I was like, no, that's the other one that you play it, and then it puts it in security, then they hit it, and it's like, oh, look, blanket 5K.
It's actually most cracked with Angemon, because Angemon, you Digivolve into Patamon. For 2, you swing, you kill him, you neg something, or you put a virus. Then when he dies, on deletion, he goes to the bottom of your security. Proc all your TK effects. So yeah, that's when it gets gross. Is when you know there's a level 4 in there. It just gets ugly for your opponent really fast. Just with what level 4s we run. Geogreymon. Oh, look at all this. I get to, Rapidmon. Oh no. Angemon. There's not a level 4 you really don't want to hit with Emissary, to be honest.
Well, it's not even level 4s. Like,
oh well, yeah. Well, I'm just saying that's your early on. You can do it with 5s or whatever. Yeah.
I think the grossest play ever is, your turn 2. You push your Patamon up. you digivolve from security, you go into Geogray, then you play a tamer from security. You recover for the Geogray, you recover for the
Memory.
tamer, usually. You got all this value and you haven't spent a single memory, and then depending on the tamer that you played, you get another memory after that. And don't you get a memory from the Patamon as well
Yeah,
for recovering?
and
yeah.
you get to draw one for depending
The
on
egg.
what egg you use. Yeah, if you
But
use
when
Choke
it
'em
whiffs, it whiffs. I had a person today. He went first. It was Pata and Raising. Hard play Pata. I did my turn. Pass. Promoted up. Whiff the first Pata. I was like, okay, cool. So obviously the second one whiffs, and just that was his turn too. It was just two
Ooh.
Patamons just not hitting anything. I was like, okay.
Big rip.
I haven't seen any vaccines on DCGO.
That's all I flip and play. That's all I've played today is Vaccine. I think I've done 2 Greymon games and 2 Grace Nova games.
Well, okay, Tiny, you want to go? We'll talk about our matchups. Tiny, do you want to go into your matchups?
Okay, let me see if I can remember.
That was round 1.
Yep. So I fought against Yellow Vaccine round 1, and that ended in a draw. I played against Magna X in round 2, and that ended in a draw, and he was super upset about it. Because he actually won his first round, so he got parried down into me, and then he drew in the second round. Didn't go well for him. The third round, I played against Imperial, and I ended up losing, but took it to game 3. All my matches for the day went to game 3. Every single one. I didn't make top cut, but all my matches went to round 3. And then my fourth round, right before top cut, I played against Blue Flare, and we were probably going to go to time, but I killed his tamer, and so he lost all of his pieces, and he only had 2 level 5s left in his hand, and no way to get a tamer back or recur anything. So he scooped whenever we were in turns, and he just gave me the win. So I got 1 win, 1 loss, and 2 ties for the tournament. I did not make top cut.
So
I haven't looked at the Imperial deck yet. Outside of watching Guapo Gremlin's TikToks, and he has been killing it on quality on there.
They're so good.
It was Leafy Boy from
Oh,
Team Demon Lords.
Leafy.
That's who I played that was playing Imperial. I don't think that the Imperial was his deck. I'm pretty sure he borrowed it from somebody, Mega Swag, maybe.
Yeah.
I think his game plan was originally Tyrant, but couldn't get Tentomons.
That's what he's talking about at Concord, I think.
Mm-hmm. Said all he needed was Tentomons. He was asking for them, but I
have
only
to
had
mail
my
him.
play set and didn't have any extras.
I have to mail him these 2 I have.
So, Mikey, how did it go for you?
Well, before I go into mine, I was wanting to ask Tiny, because Tiny played Black War Gray, and that is his main man, his deck. How did you think it did, Tiny, overall?
I think it did exceedingly well, and I probably would have made it into top cut and turned at least one of those draws into a win, and maybe turned the other tie, or yeah, not the other tie, but I would have taken one of the ties into a win and possibly turned the loss into a win, because I did make some misplays throughout the day. And one of those misplays really cost me when I was playing against Leafy. I think that's part of the reason he took the win. So it played very well.
At least you're learning from it.
I made some changes to the deck after the regional, and it ran like butter.
That's the way it felt for me when we played game 1. I really enjoyed our match because, we got to see what my deck could do, got to see what your deck could do, and how that I have to stop you before you get to your level 5s. I have to suppress you better. But yeah, I played Tiny round 1, and I was super happy that you had tweaked it and you felt good about the deck. And I did feel like it was faster. Game 2, I played against KO, and that was rough. He was playing Marcus Hybrid,
Oh, he's playing Sweaty's nasty deck.
and it's
buddy,
so good though.
It's
I loved
yeah.
and
That
basically
was my round 3, round 4,
round 3.
round 3. Yeah, that was my round 3, and I also lost to it.
Yeah, I only took one game off of him, and that was basically because. So game 1, he won. He Venused me. Game 2, I rushed and Venused on him, and then game 3, he was like, "All right, bet," and he was like, "I'm just going to go fast," and he did, and he basically hybrided me to death and got into Venus. But that was a fun match. I really like playing against KO. It's fun. Match 3 was against Mega Gargo, and that was, I think he's doesn't play Digimon a lot. He's newer to the game, and so I tried to do my thing. It was a case tournament, but I walked him through some stuff because I wanted him. I want someone to learn from the experience, because me playing Yellow Vaccine, that's a deck he's going to see a lot of. Mega Gargo can definitely stop that deck. It has potential to stop it, so because he's got rapid mons and everything too. He's got some of the same juice in the tank, and he can slap rapid mon in it and be even better off. But I won that, and then game 4, I played against Tyrant, and it was very fun. It was a very fun match. Sadly, good old Celestial Arrow with some combination of Kari and good old, what's the card's name? Why did my mind go blank? Freaking the card Jordan now hates. Revelation of Light really crushed that deck. That was because when Jordan knows when he's suspended, he gains DP and stuff. But then on their turn, when they become unsuspended, Revelation of Light still has that blanket effect. So it would just finish killing off a lot of things. But yeah, and then let's see, that was game 4. Game 5 in Top Cut was against RT, and it just really sucked because game 2 I didn't have anything. I ran out of juice, couldn't find the level 5, had done depleted, and I think if I would have had Shadow Seraphie in there, it would have helped me out a lot more in that matchup versus Numemon. Plus now I've played so much Numemon, I know what to kill, what not to kill. That's a rough deck when you don't know what. I think that's everything. If you don't know what it can do. Same way with Magnamon. Just knowing how Magnamon works. That's something I learned too, is that Magnamon can get really scary. Being able to unsuspend multiple times will allow him to gain his DP bonus again, thanks to one of the VMons. So I would have loved to play Magnamon that day. I wanted to see how my deck would do, but sadly Stoom Doom was right beside of me, so it's one of those moments. If I won and he won, we might have played, but we both lost at the beginning of Top Cut. So the local boys went down first round of Top Cut. But I loved it. It was fun.
Jordan, how'd it go for you?
Not great.
Hey, you made a Top Cut, so
No, not this one.
Oh no.
No. We played 4 rounds. First round I've got the app pulled up here. His Bandai name was Capable Kiwi. He came from that new shop that Team Demon Lords has been hyping up. He was playing Numa. It was a quick 0-2. First game was kind of a blowout. Second game, I rushed my Tyrant stack. Went off with Tyrant, swung in with Tyrant. First security check was the new released Chaos Mon, a nice big fat 15k DP.
Nice.
Shoot.
Lost my whole
God.
stack and then just couldn't recover from there because he just, Numamon did Numamon stuff. Round 2 was against Narcotica, which is, you'll have to forgive me, I have forgotten his name. He was there with RT and Hearted. He was playing Blue
Kyle?
Flare. Kyle. He was playing Blue Flare. First game was really grindy. He can't remember if he misplayed or was missing a source. He could have beat me the turn before I beat him, is what it was. And I can't remember exactly how it played out, but I did win the next turn. He was one attack shy. And then the second game, that poor fellow has bricked harder than I have ever seen anybody brick in their life. Like, it was unfortunate. And then round 3 was Fat Squatch.
Yeah.
That was a quick 0-2. I lost. And then round 4 was Fatty-tastic, which is Fat Squatch was Marcus Hybrids, correct?
Yes.
I don't know their Bandai names. And then Tastic is Sweaty, and he was on Rapid Vaccine, and I quickly lost that one too. Tyrant performed really well. My build was a little different. I was running too few TKs, and I didn't have any options because I went the rush into level 7 as fast as possible build. And then I was really heavy on my 6s because my game plan was to hit Tyrant by turn 2 or 3 and then just start dropping level 6s as fast as possible. And it worked, but then there were those moments where it's like, oh, I need an out, and my deck doesn't have an out. Because my out is to just be big. And then when my stuff's suspended, like Herc is immune to effects, Tyrant's immune to effects, but that doesn't do a whole lot against Yellow Vaccine, because their DP minus effects a lot of them are blanket, so they affect my field, not the Digimon. So my protection doesn't really help there. But I have reworked my list, so hopefully it'll perform better.
I think that's the only reason that Blue Flare is going to have any issue going in this set is Blue Flare it sustains, but now like I said, there's things that when they're suspended, they get bonuses from it. And then 2, it can't get very big. That's always been, to me, it seems like its issue. Doesn't it top out at like 12K, Drew?
Yeah, usually around there.
Yeah, if you go up to Zeke Greymon, then it tops out at about
And
12K.
there's just so many things now. Like, for instance, Tyrant Kabuteru runs like so many cards that are like just sitting around 11, 12K. So it's like,
Yeah.
With my ideal stack, I think I have 15 or 16, which was really unfortunate because that round 1, that swing I did, and I hit that Chaos Mon. I unfortunately did not have my plus 1K booster. That's all it would have took.
See, man.
Also, wasn't expecting to see a Chaos Mon and Numamon. It makes sense, but I was like, oh, he's got nothing in his deck that's this big.
Surprise, big boy.
Surprise Chaos Mon.
That sucks too, because that would be Shoo. I mean, that's the same reason Yellow Vaccine, we don't get very big. We just hope we've negged your board or your security down enough that when we swing, it's not as big as it was. But it was a good locals. I love stuff like that. I love having everybody come out to want to play. So that makes it really fun. They come for the case, but I really think
They
they
stay
come
for
to
the atmosphere.
Yeah. They want to hang out with us.
Yeah, they
We-
keep coming back. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, we didn't really have a topic for tonight, but Mikey brought up some good points. Is Ukkomon a healthy engine for the game?
I love it. I like using it. I don't know. I mean, I really can't say.
So my opinion is it makes so many weaker decks inherently better, but it does make a few great decks wonderful. But you're committing 8 to like 10 if you're playing the tamer slots in your deck to that engine. I mean, you can play fewer, but I mean, if you're playing the engine, you want to see it. The only decks that like Numamon don't care about its level 3s. So it's like I can just slap 8 Ukkomons in there, get all the consistency from them because I don't care about my level 3s. But there's decks that need their level 3 slot. So do you just run extra 3s, or do you lose that consistency to gain that search, gain that memory?
I think it's decks like Gabu Bond. Once again, that's a thing. Most of your 3s are Cannon Fodder, Blue Flare.
You don't even need those level. Well, you do and you don't need those level 3s because you play your level 4s for free, or you get some draw when you play a Blue Flare. But overall, playing the Ukkomons is a better move.
Makes that deck strong. That's what I was saying. Like, I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of people hate the engine. I feel like an overall consensus, if we was to just slap a poll right now, it would be unanimous. Ukkomon is bad. Both of them.
Yeah, ban Ukkomon, ban Magnamon.
Yeah, so let's put that in the question of the week.
Yeah.
Or I'll make a poll. Is Ukkomon good for the game or bad for the game?
I don't even think that's the problem, Ukkomon. I think the problem is the new one.
So I've got both of them.
Okay.
So this is the promo. When one of your Digimon moves from the breeding area to the battle area, you may hatch in the breeding area, then gain a memory. Then the new one from BT-16, it is 1 cost to Digivolve on your level 2. Once per turn, when one of your Digimon moves from the breeding area to the battle area, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 Digimon card or Tamer card among them to the hand. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck. Then you may hatch in your breeding area. That's a lot for one little 1 cost boy.
And it sees itself like so.
Yeah.
Even in
and the 1 cost,
scene,
I mean, that's problematic too. I mean, go first, just drop him, choke at 1, then next turn just push him up and get your search.
What's that? Memory choke me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can pick those up on the TikTok shop, Cardboard Mimic. I mean, this is better than the trainings.
Oh yeah.
Plus, it's a body that can attack, or you can just keep abusing it every turn.
If you really had to in a pinch, you could Digivolve on top of it. I mean,
no, you can't. It's white.
Oh yeah, you can't. It's color. It can go on top of anything.
Yeah, but
just wait until we get that white Greymon.
Yeah, that's true.
You can Digivolve. You can Digivolve an Eosmon on top of it.
There's a everybody saying Eosmon.
I've seen some lists from
apparently it has really good matchups. This format. Not real familiar with what Eosmon does, but that's what everybody's saying is it has really good matchups this format. I did play against one Eosmon the other day on DCGO, but I did Eosmon things. I think I still won, but I don't know. Have to
we'll be able
to
to find out. So tomorrow, well, I'll be uploading this tomorrow morning. So today, DCGO is dropping BT-16. So we'll be able to get in there and start that. I'm going to keep playing Galacticmon. Snag the Destros and the Galacties right before the Skyrocket.
I've not checked them. Did they peak? Did they stay average?
They were at... The Galactic went up to 25.
Okay, so he went up $10.
And that was this morning, I think.
Yeah.
I wish that
22.
And the Destro promo has went from, what was he, $1.25 to he is now $8.
Yep.
Oh yeah, look at that.
To the moon. To the moon.
Love to see it.
I never had any of the Destro promos, but if you had told me that you were trying to build Galactia, I've still got a couple of Galactic mods myself.
Well, I only have 3, which that's the build that I was playing. That's what I was running. So I may end up picking that other one up from you.
Yep. When we've not seen a new Galactimon revealed, so
So there was, I can't remember where I seen it. I think it was Reddit. There was somebody had posted that they revealed Wisemon. Was it Wisemon as level 6? Ancient Wisemon.
He's been, that's been revealed.
So the way that the list was pulled up,
The slots that are
There-
left.
yeah, the slots that are left, I don't think there was another level 6 black. So people are saying, or there was rumor that Galacticmon may be secondary black.
So would he be purple?
I don't
Shoot.
know.
Are any of the rest of the cards in the new line purple?
No, they're all mono
Nope.
black.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's what I thought.
If anything, I thought we'd get a Galactimon with Kroos. Because now we have a Destromon with Kroos. We have a Snatch with Kroos.
Oh, well, we've got, there's still one more, 2 slots technically, 72 and 73, that are between Shadow Serafi Ace and Ancient Wise.
No. So
Galacticmon Ace.
that's where my mind went. Was a Galacti Ace.
I mean, it wouldn't be crazy, to be honest.
No.
I mean, Ace is the new thing. Once again, big risk, big reward. So, I mean, yeah.
Could you imagine if they gave Galacti Ace Digicross as well, so you can just play this level 6 for like 3
Well,
memory?
That wouldn't work because Kroos is on play and Ace requires you to digivolve its blast digi. Unless they gave us a new keyword, which like
No,
the blast
that
would-
DNA
No.
would be blast Kroos.
No. What I'm saying is you wouldn't be able to blast on to play it on the opponent's turn, but all of the blast Digimon have really low play costs.
Yeah, okay, I get what you're saying. If it had blast and Kroos.
Yeah, if it was an
Oh.
ace and also had Kroos, then it would have a very low play cost by default, and then you could also reduce that play cost with Kroosing.
Okay.
That'd be
That's
disgusting.
gross.
Whoa,
I'm
whoa,
not
whoa.
here for that.
Don't count it out. Don't count it out. None of us ever thought we would see a from hand DNA Digivolution either. And we haven't
Yeah, I'm
asked
not
him
excited for that either. So
on. So,
we got what? 3 more weeks? 2 more
Yeah.
I
weeks?
do know something that you're excited for though.
Go for it.
Bees.
Oh my god.
Oh, dude, I'm hyped for those
I'm-
bees.
they're
I'm,
cool.
I'm messaging Daniel tomorrow to see about. I finally decided on the mat I want, and I think I'm going to do the queen bee herself. I'm going to have.
That'd
I'm
be
going to have.
Sick.
I'm going to have Daniel make me a queen bee mat.
It's just cool.
Look at that man. That is an absolute unit.
Yeah.
But y'all got you got to get my new waifu on screen next. All right.
You know, the queen.
The joke here is I am deathly allergic to bees, yet they're my favorite insect. The world is a
Where's-
cool place.
Is it not in here? Is it not on this set?
Queen. Oh, she might be 19 because we're getting 18 and 19 mashed together.
Oh, yeah.
So some of the pieces are 19. I think the new Digimon are 19. So the new
Yeah, they're
4,
19.
the new 5, and her. Look at her.
Look at that cute little bee
No.
missile.
Right?
Look
Like
at
the
it.
fan. The fan Beamon holding on for his dear life. Look at them eyes. He's seen some shit.
I didn't even notice that until you pointed it out.
Look at
He's
him.
seen some shit, dude.
Listen, I
love it.
really like with the reveals of this and the what's the other one? Heavy Megadramon.
The
Is that right?
carrier, the cargo holder for the bees.
Heavy
No.
metal Dramon.
No, heavy metal
Heavy
Dramon.
Metal Dramon.
Oh,
So
Get
both
him
of those
online.
decks, have some of the coolest interactions that I've seen. Like the whole royal base playing in security face up and having effects active on the field while they're in security.
Yeah. and I've not read the novels yet. So this character, Winter, and then the Impmon girl, I cannot remember her name. They got 2 little short novels released to go with Liberator.
Yeah.
But they're both beta testers for the Liberator game, so they've got these cool new gimmicks and the whole new Impmon line and everything.
Well, it's cool because their whole premise is they're supposed to be going through the games, finding bugs in the games, and yet the first episode of Digimon Liberator, we see this weird interaction that's never happened before. Like I said, I haven't read the novels, but I'm assuming that ties into the 2 new, the Shumon and what's his name? Shoot, the new partner.
Terramon?
Yes. So I'm assuming they're probably rogues.
I'm also excited for that structure deck.
Yeah.
But that's just the green player in me. You'll have to excuse me. One of my models fell off my shelf.
Oh.
Here's the heavy metal Drumon.
Look at that guy. Shoo.
Trashing cards in your hand to do cool effects. I'm here for it all.
And it's scary because it's got red. When anything can naturally use things from red, like security bombs or just anything, it's like, ugh. Ooh. It makes the deck so much stronger. Yeah, we're getting a lot. I mean, that was, and that's something too. I don't have really great foresight when it comes to it. I see new cards, I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then usually we talk about it for a little bit, and then literally my brain gets rid of it, and I go back to the current format, and I'm like, okay, can I make Dex Duel work? Okay. Can we make Collision be fun?
Yes, when we get it on Mamie Tyramon. I will make it real fun for you, I promise.
Well, right now, the current deck seems to be a SOC, an SOC deck. It's not really just straight until we get it. But I don't know. I think a lot of people are going to get discouraged during this set, even though we don't have it for long. And I think the train will continue. I'm not trying to be a doomsayer. I'm just saying we do know some people that are not enjoying the current format. And so far, I don't feel like it's going to be as bad as the upcoming EX format.
Probably not. And the problem with our formats going forward until next year is we're getting everything at an accelerated rate. So we're going to get a whole bunch of stuff really fast. We're going to experience potentially 3 different formats in a span that we should only see 1, maybe 2. Well, so like we've not had 16 long at all, and then we're going to get Blast Ace, not Blast Ace. We're going to get Infernal Ascension
in what, 2.5 weeks?
Like 2.5, 3 weeks, and then we get the first part of 1819 in August.
Yeah.
So
literally like a month and a half away from that. It's insane.
So we're coming out of BT-15 too. It was a very long format. And
very true.
Yes.
It was so diverse, and there was so much coming out of it that going into this kind of more heavy, well, you got these like 3 or 4 really good decks that are going to be the ones, and you just it's going to rapid fire with all this stuff coming out too.
Which I think I don't want to say the only, I think the biggest meta challenger out of Ascension is what is going to be Mastamon, right? I don't think Shakamon's going to do much, if anything. Ragna, I think, is still really high roll.
Shakamon's going to, I mean, you have access to the Sylphie, or the Valkyrie Ace. I think it's going to be a really nasty control deck. I was watching Huang Zero's video, and
does he have
on
one
his
on
armor?
Shaka?
Yeah, he did an armadillo. It was the deck he was actually going to take to the regional.
It looks really
I saw his
fun.
armadillo, but I didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
No. So, are you confusing Shakamon with Shakuamon?
Oh, maybe.
Yes.
What is
I'm
Shaka?
talking about the new level 7. We get an Infernal Ascension, the Journey to the West, level 7.
Oh, okay.
Shakamon, the big Cross for my other favorite yellow Digimon. Oh my god. Why did I just blink her
Brain
on?
Yeah.
fart.
Your favorite Digimon, Chohakai.
Chokai, there we go, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Shakamon.
Shakamon has a lot of words.
That is
It's
a lot of
Yu-Gi-Oh
words.
card.
Shakamon has a
Pull
lot of
it up
words.
here. Pull it up here.
I can't play this. I can't read all this. Words are hard.
Oh
So-
God.
So
Yeah. So on play when Digivolving, which is key because she has Cross. But all Digimon gain security attack -1 until the end of your opponent's turn. All Digimon, so that's yours and theirs. Her last effect is where this makes sense. So then all turns is when this Digimon will be deleted, returned to the hand or deck. You may play 1 Sanzo and 1 Goku Sago Chohakai from a Digivolve. So you get 2. She floats into 2 of her 4 sources, which is really good. Your turn, change security attack minus to security attack plus on all of your Digimon. So she turns sec minus into sec plus, which is good because if I'm not mistaken, every one of the sources or a large chunk of the sources have inheritable security minus.
oh well, that's
Ooh.
great.
Ooh.
great.
See, on the end of opponent's turn, you may place 1 Digimon with sec attack plus or minus on top of its owner's security stack. Yeah.
Let's see.
I mean,
Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what their inheritables are. Because like you just build a big stack. Your thing is to stun everything out with sec minus, and then on your turn you turn your own minus into positive.
So let's see.
so this
We
would
got
be small.
Sanzomon gives you when attacking -1, or 1 Digimon may gain -1 security.
That's it when attacking.
Yep. Same with it's all of them. They all have the same inherit.
Except, yeah, they do.
Whoa.
Yeah.
They need to calm down. That's a red thing, okay? We've done gave purple plus. We can't
No,
be
this
giving...
is security check minus, Maki.
Yeah, so it's
Not
very
plus.
yellow.
Sorry,
It's very yellow.
Sorry. I mean, I'm here for it. I'm just saying.
And Gokumon is yellow-red. All right, so there is some red
see,
representation
there
in
you
the
go.
deck.
That's what happens. You can't put red in other things. It just makes them toxic.
So yeah, this seems really gross.
Seems cool to
I guess
be.
I'm going to look at the rest of EX6.
Well, plus, don't worry. I mean, most of these cards from the other sets, if you run any of the other stuff, they're commons or uncommons, so they're not stupidly hard to get a hold of. So that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm excited for the Sanzomon. Because I like Cross, I like Chohakai. Like I like this whole theme, the Journey to the West story.
Yes.
But I don't think it's going to. I think it's going to have the the Dawn Dusk deck issue, as in it's just not going to be consistent enough to work.
But that deck is gross. When it goes off,
When it goes off.
that's any deck. When it goes off, it's great. But like, oh my god, the things that deck does to you when it actually works, you're like, didn't know this deck could do this. This needs to stop. What do you mean you're going to switch between your 2 level 6s and you're going to bounce something back to my hand, strip 2 sources, 4 sources? What do you mean? Oh, then you're going to play the other level 6 and gain plus security 3? And you're just sitting here going, what the fuck just happened? What happened?
Any deck that got an emergency ban, it's,
But they didn't even like ban its pieces. It's just like you can't play this tamer with this card.
But that's
it
still.
It literally would have broke the game. Like they were like,
I mean, it went infinite.
You will
it
die.
went infinite. Yeah.
Well, okay. I think that's what I mentioned in the chat. The Boogieman versus the Boogerman, and that is everybody is so scared of Magnamon, which it is a very tough card. But from what we've seen of it, it is a great deck. However, many people and many decks seem to be overcoming it.
And this comes back to everybody not hating how long they're going to have to deal with Numemon. So that's the problem with Japan being ahead of us. So Numemon came up in Japan as the Magnamon counter, but us in the West, we're like, oh, this is a good deck. We don't have these new aces yet, but we can play these other cards and still play the deck as good as it's doing with all these new cards. And then now we've got the Valkmon aces, we've got the full Ukko Engine. But it's like we jumped on Numa early because we saw what it was doing in Japan. And now that the deck that Numa was originally created to counter is out, I mean, we're gonna see Numa until probably long after EX6 unless they do something.
I don't know. Give me a couple more locals. I might hate Numemon, but as of right now, I feel like I have as many wins as losses against it. I'm not saying it's like every time I see the deck, and it could be the deck that I am playing. Just like back when, Metal Garurumon was a menace. I was playing War Gray, and his kit inherently was like, delete a blocker, bounce a blocker, security, I don't know. So I could be looking through that with some bias because of what deck I'm currently playing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
Fingers are sticky.
Yeah. And like I said, everyone was so upset about Magnamon, and like we just said, Numemon seems to be the stronger into a lot of things deck. Magnamon is the wall. Numemon says, I'm just going to tear your wall down, period.
Oh, yeah.
Any wall you build.
The new Edamon combo is actually kind of silly.
Pretty gross.
It's like I want to digivolve into Edamon, and then start of your turn, I'm going to force you to attack. That way I can just, at the start of your turn, against your will, blast Evo into Valkmon and then blanket your whole board. Before you can even do anything.
And I hate it. I do, but that's a thing.
No, I don't. I'm doing it.
Well, it's like...
I did it with a Jumbo Gamimon.
I just think we need a lot more Drews in the think tank to find these things that will work. Sadly, Drew just doesn't have enough playtime to playtest all these things. But I mean, he does come up with these off-the-wall things that work.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's just how they've done with Numemon, or people sit there and just like, they want the deck to work so bad they make it work. They find a way to make it work.
Speaking of Gamamon, currently what I'm testing with right now.
Look at him.
So,
what is that in there? What is that?
Huh?
What is that? Magnamon? What? There's Magnamon in there?
Buddy, this Magnamon is cracked, all right?
I said that.
I didn't. I never read him because I was like, Magnamon.
He's the best Magnamon there is.
I don't got to read that card. I don't need to. Right? I didn't even know he was a security Digimon until I built this deck.
This is what makes Magnamon so gross.
Oh yeah, message of the day. You want to know what the card does? Read the card.
Yeah.
I didn't know what this card did because I never read the card.
It's got blocker.
But I'm probably going to get smacked by Red Hybrid right here, so.
That's okay.
For you viewers, you can't see, but Jordan once again is addicted to the DCGO, and he's playing it as we pod.
I got to stay awake. It's past my bedtime.
But I think going forward, and a lot of locals aren't like ours. We do bring fun decks to the table. We do play meta things. Technically, like, I don't think my version of Yellow Vaccine is as strong as others. but it is gross. I mean, it's pretty gnarly. And I think it's just the new hotness, too. Like, everyone's moved away from Gamamon or Gaomon and went to the new thing. And I think the same thing will happen when we get EX.
It's going to happen a lot
Yeah.
for the rest of this year.
Yeah. And then, like, I've not looked at, so we're getting 2 sets of 18-19 mix, kind of like we got the original sets. They jumbled along. So I'm curious to see what pieces, like we just saw with Royal Base. So our first drop, we're going to get the Tiger Vespa line, and then our second drop, we're getting the new line, which is the new 4, 5, and 6. So unfortunately, I will not be rolling Royal Base for a while. But that just gives me more time to play Tyrant.
Just more time to play Tyrant.
Just bugs for bugs, bud. Bugs for bugs.
And
So rolling into the other topic you had there too. What were you gonna say, Mikey?
I was going to talk about Susanamon. You know, a lot of people. We had the reaction of that today, and then
Oh,
someone.
you mean Exodia?
Yeah, but then someone went, "Did we all forget Lucamon? Did we all forget what he does?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, Satan mode and stuff. That's kind of gross. Delete tamers, put them back in your hand."
It's almost like they designed these archetypes to reflect the anime.
No,
to reflect the lore. The lore.
What do you mean?
Oh.
Satan mode puts all tamers
yeah,
back to your hand.
Oh, it's definitely lore because Tyrannomon's been kicked to the curb since the day they found Agumon.
I mean, that's not for lack of trying. I mean,
That's my hate for the day.
They have gave him a lot of support. About the same they have Leomon.
Yeah. So the other topic Mikey brought up is kind of an issue.
Y'all can't see this. But good old Haggy posts. Hey DM, tell us more about the lore. The lore. Oh yeah, that's good. It's very good.
So with all these rolling releases that's going to be coming, are we going to continue to have the issue that we had with BT-16?
Yes.
Getting into stores.
Yes, we are.
Because none of the stores around us, well, at least that I've been to, have had anything BT-16 in stock, but they do have the 2021 and 2023 adventure sets.
All kinds of them.
So, and maybe there's some gold in those, but I'm not gonna find out.
There could be, but here's the thing. So I think that is just the issue, not with Bandai, but with the card distribution here in our area itself. So they had all this product, and then of course it went away for a minute because going into Walmarts and Targets, and Target seems to be better about it than Walmart. But your Walmarts, you'll see that stuff lingering, those old Yu-Gi-Oh sets, those old ball cards. But with us, you have the 2 old adventure boxes. Like, I still have Old Force decks and Gallantmon starter decks.
Yeah, and that's just an issue with big box stores because like that stuff is there from a vendor.
Yeah.
And the problem is like the vendor can't just pull it and sell it elsewhere. That's why we get a lot of those mystery boxes. Is like that's the stuff that's collecting dust on the shelves. They repackage it and then try to sell it to kids as a loot box.
Yep.
But it's just like and like the cardboard store. I was in there the other day, and that's probably why there's so many cases in the back. That's why there's no Digimon out. Is like you have a small section, and I mean it is packed to the gills.
Yeah, it's all baseball and football because whenever COVID happened, that's where everybody went. Was that whole section was wiped out. Onata was the same way. Like the baseball and football was out the door, so they overcompensated, and now it's taking over everything. And then you've got Pokemon and Lorcana, the big names that kids gravitate towards. And they've got their little half, and you got this one little section where the 6 boxes sit on the shelf. And I asked the girl the other day that stocks it every week, and I was like, "Hey, you guys getting any more Digimon stuff?" She's like, "I don't know. They just kind of send it in, and I put it on the shelf." And I was like, "Well, if you talk to anybody, say, hey, there's some guys wanting Digimon, send it."
Here's also the problem with that. Those people, so they have discovered they can't get people that actually enjoy cards. Because for some odd reason, cards start to disappear when you have a vendor that enjoys cards.
That's fair.
So, any one of these people you talk to get those questions so many times a day that they're ready to throat punch you when you ask them anything about the cards.
With Walmart, it's like the person providing the cards is MJ Holding, but the person that merchandises it is a separate company called Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
So like Anderson's there for merchandising, like they do all the like signage and stuff and like electronics for like all this phone. I mean, like their job is to merchandise, set up signage. They don't know crap about a lot of the products they're merchandising, but it's like MJ Holding sends the product, and then they pay Anderson to merchandise it.
Mm-hmm. And that's what sucks is like you have the surplus now of cards where Pokemon's like, hey, we bought our own printers. We are going to print this into the ground every time a new product launches. Like, if you really wanted the Halloween set of those Pokemon packs you're supposed to give out for Halloween, there's probably like 30 hidden in the back. Where she's just had to shove them out because she just. And then you've got my Walmart that I work all the time. There's like close to like probably. I hope I don't get anybody in trouble. There's just like a lot of boxes in the back that she can't even get into because the stuff on the shelf is not moving fast enough to put out this. And she's literally had to ship things to other stores. Like send it back on FedEx to another store, another location that's moving it. So I always get that FOMO, and I'm like, oh no, that's a box that's got Digimon in it. She's sending it back because nobody's buying these Old Force decks.
Mikey's gonna have a stash of Old Force decks behind him.
Well, and that's another.
They're selling. Send more.
Well, that's another thing. They discount Pokemon. They discount baseball cards. By God, they will not sit a sticker on Digimon though. And there was dust. I mean, dust on top of the Gallantmon box. Like, literal, you can see it when you wipe your finger. It was like walking through an old house. And I mean, I'm ready just like, I don't know, like just throw them into the floor and hope. Because it's just, it's bad. But yeah, the 2022 adventure boxes that came with these guys. If you need one of those, there's like
plagued.
Yeah, there's like 20 at Clinton Walmart.
Problem with those is they were overpriced.
Yes, for what you got. Yeah,
because of the acrylic counters that nobody uses. Like,
they're really cool. It's just
like that set wasn't good. That acrylic stand's cool. Those counters, like you said, they are cool, but it's like. So here's the thing with Digimon, and I mean it is a game of information, but it's like you don't have to explain your board state to your opponent unless they ask. So if you're using counters that show what has blocker or has DP buffs, that you're just giving them that info without them asking. So, and then there's people out there that they purposely withhold that information because they don't gotta explain their board state unless you ask. It is public knowledge, but if you're not reading your opponent's cards or asking your opponent what the current status of their stack is, if you swing without that information and then like, oh yeah, this has blocker and is like 5k DP higher than what you're attacking with, and you're just like, wait, wow, where'd that come from? You're not allowed to take that attack back after you declared it unless you're just playing some good kitchen table TCG. So like that's why people don't use counters, because you're just putting that info on the board, which I mean is already there, but it's like you're making it very apparent. You're like, hey, this is what I have. You're gonna make your opponent actually think about their plays and take away that possibility that they make a mistake in your favor. But if they ask, and this is I'm telling people too, if you ask your opponent, they have to tell you that information. Back to like yellow vaccine. If they play a card and then it goes to their top of their security, and you ask them what went to the top, they have to tell you, even after it's face down, because that is public knowledge. Now, if they shuffle their security, that's not public knowledge anymore. But it's like, well, what did you put on the top of your security? Or if they ever search their deck and add a card to their hand, they have to show you. A lot of people will put them face up on the table. Some people will search them in their hand and try to do it really fast. And if you don't ask, they're not going to show you. But that is public knowledge. There are sharks out there, people. Stay out of the water.
I don't know. I hope it doesn't. I hope it gets better. However, which there is way more BT-16 being open because prices are dropping. Mm-hmm. There's way more adventure boxes being open because promo prices have plummeted. Patamon went from $17 and $18, basically the price of a box, to $9. So,
I think Hawkmon was the second most expensive.
Yeah.
Now, the problem now is they didn't reprint the Tamers from the movie pack, so now all that promo cost is shifting to the Tamers, which I don't know what all decks use the Tamers, because the Datas got reprinted into the ground from those demo decks. But I know the Yoli is very expensive because that cost from the Hawkmon has now shifted to the Yoli. Yeah, it looks like the movie promo for Hawk is still 13, and the Adventure Box one is 8. But the Adventure Box one started out at like 18. But, as more people are opening the product. And the Yoli is at 20.
That is the cool thing about Digimon. I do feel like the majority of sellers, even some of those that I have called out in the past,
Crazy Nick,
they will adjust their prices.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? They will drop them. Like, hey,
it's a competitive market.
Yeah. And sadly, lots of times they sell so many cards, and I went back and I said it, apologize to them. They sell so many cards. I'm not saying Digimon's not on the top of their plate. It's just they have this a lot they sell. They have this allotment they crack. They post it to make their money back because, they sell this. They sell the singles. Boom. They net gain money. And sometimes they are a little bit slower because the cheaper stuff will be bought out and then they're at the top. Unless someone buys out Crazy Nick's anywhere from 15 to 20 cards they usually list, they will drop the price. Usually, for the most part.
Or some mystery seller buys 15 of a card that only has 15 listings, and all of a sudden Crazy Nick is posting 15 of that card for sale at triple its price. But that's not the only seller to do it. We only use Crazy Nick because he was the one that popped up on Reddit. He was the target there. I don't even remember what card was bought out for that, but
Serious Spawn.
So it was Serious Spawn. Yeah, and then there was another one here a few weeks ago. Somebody posted that had Crazy Nick with a bunch of listings as the card was getting bought out. So it's like,
I can't remember. I remember seeing it, but I don't remember what the card was.
So it's like we're not trying to hate on or anything. It's just he's the one in the community that everybody has put the target on.
Sadly.
So it's like we make that reference because if you're in the community, you get the reference. But I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh has the same problem. I'm sure Pokemon's weird just because the way they print so many versions of their cards. But like Yu-Gi-Oh has the problem. Like they reveal something in Japan that we may not get for like 9 months, but that Japan reveal will turn a quarter card in the US into a $20 card. I think the current one is Fabled Lurie. Went from being like pennies to being like $20, and we don't even have the engine that uses Fabled Lurie, and I don't think we get it for like another month.
That can take us into another little pig trail that I do worry about. Is I think the Digimon community as a whole is not toxic. You always have people that are natural born sarcastic people, or very just plain spoken people. It
Or
does
you have
what?
you have anonymous posters that just want to be toxic because they can now. But I think most of that's done as a meme, like you said,
Yeah.
just being sarcastic.
It does suck because sometimes you don't have the funds to buy the Galacticmon, or sorry, what it wasn't Galacticmon, the Destromon promos before they get bought up. Like, look, a lot of people are like, "What? You couldn't splurge $10?" Hey, I've been there.
Oh yeah,
I've been there.
Hey, I would really love to build the Hawkmon deck, but I don't have $40+ to drop on Yolis, and
Well, I mean,
it's not
I was just
feasible right
saying,
now.
like, that was a
Mhm.
very cheap version. Like, you could get your playset for $8. Now you're getting your playset for, $35. Does it suck? Yes. And I just stay out of those comments, guys. I just stay out of them because I understand both sides.
I like watching them from afar.
I do too, but I understand both sides of that fence. Sometimes you just ain't got the funds.
Did I do the DC?
And sometimes it just, you miss out on the train. And we have come to learn with Digimon, those waves ride high. They ride high, but they usually settle, just like Angelmon Ace, things like that. We do seem to have a set waifu tax on most cards now. Wait, why is there 2 Jordans?
Because I DC'd.
So no, you're back. There you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
But yeah. So there's just certain things, if you've been around long enough, you do see it. And that's why there might be a sarcastic comment or something like that. It's just their nature. I don't think they're meaning to come off as, most of them are not meaning to come off as terrible as they sound. But when you read stuff, lots of times it's taken out of context. You don't hear the person's tone or whatever. The market is very fluid. It usually does stabilize, however. So just sit with us. And sadly, Destromon, they stay at $8. He may go up to $10. And sadly, you may buy your Destromons for $8.98, and they could be $6 or $4 after the set's revealed and there's no Galacticmon. You never know. But don't count out the whole community just because of one bad Facebook interaction. The internet is very toxic. So
if you look up and that Facebook interaction says anonymous poster, it doesn't matter. It's not a real person.
Yeah, just ignore it. Just scroll on by.
It's not a real person. They're there to stir the shit.
Unless it's Kelvin.
Yep.
So but he's not posting anonymously.
Yeah,
Everybody knows his
he has
name.
before. Oh,
He
look,
snuck a couple in there.
that troll. But usually, I feel like he's done it enough. Once again, if you've been around long enough, you're like, is this Kelvin in disguise? This sounds like a Kelvin Tran thing going on here.
That was one that I was reading it. I didn't pay attention to who posted. I was reading it and I was like, are people really this dumb? And I looked up and I was like, oh,
Gotcha.
never mind.
Gotcha.
Right? I mean, my fingers were ready. I was hitting that comment section. And I look up and I see Kelvin. I was like, oh, okay, never mind.
Woo. Let's just go ahead and back out and just read. Grab the popcorn and enjoy.
All right, let me just cool down.
But yeah, I think we're in for a roller coaster of pricing, of decks, and I don't think we will see Numemon, but I don't think we're going to be back into a format for a while where there's just one deck that reigns supreme. I think there's enough playtime, there's enough decks out there now that there's still going to be your Gallantmons that skirt out on top. There's going to be your Metal Garurumons that skirt out on top. There's going to be your Alphamons that skirt out in the top. It's just going to happen. There's enough, like I said, there's enough people that love a deck enough that they play it so much that they will get top 32 with, Bagra Army. It's going to happen. That's just the state we're in right now. So just hold on tight, guys. That's what I'm saying. Just play the decks you like and just hold on
Keep
tight.
having fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And don't go to a winning case expecting to win with Gamamon. Just hold on tight.
I mean, I don't know. Our formats are going to be quick, so just buckle up. Things will get better.
I mean, they will.
We're just going to get so many cards so fast until they sync us up, and it's like it's not going to be a fun experience for a lot of people.
And the market's going to be
'Cause
wild.
every set's going to, yeah, exactly. Every set's going to have its Magnum deck. Every set's going to have, there's going to be like. Here's the thing. I mean, if you can't afford the deck, don't play the deck. Give it a few months, and it may get cheaper because we're going to get more decks.
And that doesn't mean the deck isn't playable. Like I just said, just because the newness comes out, the new hotness, doesn't mean you can't play your deck. Doesn't mean you can't play Imperial Mon. Just because Mario says Imperial Mon is shit, that's just with him. He hasn't, just play your deck.
Who's the community Imperial stand? Is that Dan Vang? Yeah, don't let Dan Vang down. Play Imperial.
Yeah. It's a fun deck. V-Mon right now.
Hell, even Virus Imperial's doing things because of the new cards. You got Sethmon, the new Dino B. Like, even Virus is competitive. I did throw up some air quotes because I think blue-green is better. But I mean, if you jumped on the Virus train when he was an expensive deck on release and was very disappointed, if you still have those cards, hey, look here, you can play Virus again.
Hey, I won locals with it. It was only 6 man, but by God, I won. Because when Virus do things, it do things. And everybody's like, and once again, everybody's like, I didn't know it could do that. And you're like, yeah, it can.
It definitely can do that.
And I think that's all the topics I had. Play your boogers. Throw out your bears. Play your Magnas. Play your
Don't be scared of the boogeyman.
Yeah, don't be scared of the boogeyman. Play your Imperial into the boogeyman. Partition helps.
I get to play my disappointing bunny deck again in EX6 because we get a new Lotmon through line, a new Shoe Tamer, and we get Shrubimon Ace. And I'm gonna cope super hard, play the deck, and then be very sad when it's still shit.
Hey, I played Kmart and Alphamon when Alphamon reigned supreme, and I had a blast. Okay,
and I'm gonna play the wrong bunny
and have a blast.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, the deck's fun. It's just not great.
Well, if we don't have anything left, I will pull up this page here, find it, and shout out to our sponsors who you can go support. Wholehearted, SecCheck 10 for 10% off your order. Prismatic Defenders, SecCheck 15. You get 15% off your sleeves. BCW Supplies, use CB Mimic and you get 10% off or 5% off. And then TCG Player, if you use the affiliate link below, you can support the pod.
Yay! We need all the support we can get.
Mikey can get the Patreon fixed up.
To a pizza party over webcam.
We'll DoorDash everybody pizza.
Whoa.
A slice of pizza. We'll mail it to them. Snail mail.
Yeah.
Snail mail pizza.
Some Tostitos, man. We'll get them some Tostitos party pizzas.
All right, well,
Tanathan, that's your cue.
if nobody else has got anything else, Tani, you haven't been super talkative tonight, but you're probably working.
I assumed he was working. He's here in spirit. He chimes in on the important things.
All right. I guess this is the end of yet another episode of the Security Check Digimon TCG podcast. We appreciate everybody listening. Stay safe, be well, and we'll catch you next time.